Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to today's edition of Rocket Launch Sports Picks. It is May 29th. We made it through the week. It is the last weekend of May and we got some exciting baseball action. Here we go with our picks from yesterday. Two interconnected picks. Basically, we picked the wrong end of the stick. Pete Alonso, just a single. Patrick Corbin did show up and show out yesterday for Toronto in a 2-1 win. You can see the box score right here. That it was a 2-1 win for Toronto. They were able to get a run in the eighth, so Patrick Corbin did have a no decision in that one, despite his tremendous outing. Baltimore was not hitting at all yesterday. That includes Pete Alonso to a very large extent. But you can see right there, it was a pitcher's duel. You look at the standings, you still see Baltimore and Toronto down there versus the Rays and the Yankees, which the Red Sox, quite a disappointing team this season. So you can see Patrick Corbin was under 2.5 earned runs, and Pete Alonso not so great alongside the rest of his teammates in that Orioles lineup. We did have a paid pick yesterday. That was Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens going over 6.5 strikeouts. He went 5 1/3, 1 earned run. He struck out a staggering 10 hitters. 10 out of the 16 outs that Paul Skeens got were on strikes. What a game he had against the Cubs. He got his ERA below 3. He was right at 3 before the game. Paul Skeens was able to get it done against the Chicago Cubs lineup, but it was ultimately the Cubs who prevailed. That being said, before we get to anything, you still have the chance to use the code ROCKETUPSB for 2 sweat-free tokens on Betr. That link is in the description. Go ahead and find it right there. For our MLB picks for the day, we got Mike Trout. Mike Trout is part of the MLB picks for today on Betr, where if you get 3 out of 3 correct, if you want to go perfect and not get anything, even if you get 2 out of 3, that would be $10 in, 35 out in that ratio. But if you want to get the flex and you want to get half back if you miss one, that would be a 1.75, or in other words, $10 in, $17.50 out. If Mike Trout goes over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI, that's something we would want to see. Jose Ramirez over 0.5 hits, so basically that's Jose Ramirez getting a hit in the game. And Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Mets today. They need a good outing from him. They're one of the worst teams in the National League despite their high payroll. He is bound to go over 5.5 strikeouts. Let's get to it. Start off with Freddie Peralta. He got traded from the Brewers to the Mets in the offseason. The Brewers are still doing well and the Mets are not. But Freddie Peralta is still heading to the hill, and he has gone over 5.5 strikeouts, 6 or more, in 6 of his last 10 games. That also includes a 70% hit rate over the last 20. And you can see against his opponent for today, he has been able to mow down 9 Miami Marlins in his last 2 outings. That also included last weekend, and that also included late last year when he was with Milwaukee. That being said, there are some favorable matchups here. You can see this chart. If you look at Lopez at the very bottom, 11 at-bats against Freddie Peralta and only 2 hits. That's a 182 average right there. Even Xavier Edwards is only 3 for 12, 250. Not great off Freddie Peralta. And you also can see Stowers 1 for 5 against Freddie, even though that 1 hit is a home run. You can see a couple goose eggs in 2 or 3 plate appearances. A couple people have gotten some hits in short amounts of plate appearances. And you can even see Christopher Morel. He is also going 2 for 11 off Freddie Peralta. There's not really a hitter in this Miami lineup that has a good grip on Freddie Peralta and his work, even coming off a great start last weekend. He has also been better on the road than at home. So outside of the Big Apple, he has been able to have a 3.13 ERA versus at home in Queens, he is at a 3.76 mark in his 7 games. So we expect that in Miami, he will continue his brilliance. Onward to Mike Trout. We've had him in one of our props before. He is back, ready to go over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. That is something he's done in 6 of his last 10 games. He's did that in 8 out of 20. So you can see before the last 10 and the previous 10, not so great. However, in his last 4 games against Tampa Bay, he has hit it. That dates back to the April of 2025, even though he did not do it in the first 2 games of that April 2025 series. But you can see the other series on here, that is in August of last year. The first weekend of August, he was able to get it done. Mike Trout continues to get it done against Tampa, and that's what we show right here on this slide. He is a great hitter on the road this season, hitting .265 outside of Southern California, specifically Anaheim and the Angel Stadium, and .298 in Tampa Bay. That includes many games at Tropicana Field and a few last year in the Yankees Spring Training Stadium, where Tampa Bay played before they got their roof fixed. That being said, Mike Trout constantly delivering in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, for most of his career, has had great teams, and they got a great team this year, but Mike Trout has continued to deliver against Tampa. We expect more of the same. Let's get off to Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is off to a bit of a slow start in 2026, but the Guardians are playing very well. We expect Jose Ramirez to get over a half a hit or just get a hit, 1 or more hits. He's expected to hit in this game. He has done that in 6 out of 10, 13 out of 20 in the recent trends. He has also gotten hits in 3 out of 6 against Boston. That dates back to early 2025. His hit rate on the season is 60%. 35 out of 58 games in this season he has hit. He's been a dependable player, everyday player. He's also got 20 stolen bases. He is bound for another 30-40 season. 30 home runs, 40 stolen bases. If he can tear some home runs, he might even have a shot at 40-40, which only 6 people have done. And of course, if you know from 2 years ago, Shohei Ohtani created the 50-50 club. Enough of that. Let's get on to the fact that Jose Ramirez is hitting well in Cleveland, .260 average compared to .198 outside of Cleveland. He loves Cleveland. He keeps giving up some money to stay with the Guardians, and he hits well at home. You can tell that when he's at home, he feels at home. Jose Ramirez is also hitting .272 in his career against the Red Sox, well above league average, even though slightly below his career average. But this season, off to a bit of a slow start. He's definitely got to get going. And this Red Sox series is a great series for Jose Ramirez to get going. We got 2 more paid picks as usual on Winible. Those are picks that's if you are part of our full launch. We also have a weekly and monthly package for our baseball picks. That's the thing. You can pick one sport for just $9 a week, or you can pick our full launch for $24 a week. That is 2 more paid picks. Link is in the description right there. That is a wrap on today. We will not have a baseball video tomorrow because we have 2, not 1, but 2 tremendously big games tomorrow. First things first is the Champions League final, the biggest matchup of the club season. This is an encore for our World Cup. This is where all of our soccer fans rejoice before taking 2 weeks off before the World Cup. We got Paris Saint-Germain versus Arsenal in Budapest. That will be a big matchup that we will have a video on for tomorrow. And then in the NBA, we got Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals after the Spurs annihilated the Thunder at home to force the Game 7. That will be the other video for tomorrow. We will have our free picks for that one. That's going to be a huge game. So 2 huge games for tomorrow. So much popcorn to grab. So much time to spend at the bar watching these games. And boy, I need that rest. I worked hard this week. And man, this is the weekend to rest because we got some great action. Let's get after it. Happy Friday. Tune in on Sunday for more baseball.